Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, in an extensive new blog post, says that Facebook has a new, quote, privacy-focused vision. That vision revolves around private messaging, ephemeral stories, and small groups. That's because, as Zuckerberg writes, quote, many people prefer the intimacy of communicating one-on-one with just a few friends. People are more cautious of having a permanent record of what they've shared, and we all expect to be able to do things like payments privately and securely. At the same time, in this blog post, Zuckerberg admits, quote, frankly, we don't currently have a strong reputation for building privacy protective services. Ain't that the truth? Our tech editor, Dan Hally, is here to break it all down. Hally, what was your immediate reaction to this blog post? Because I feel like every couple months now, maybe even every couple weeks, there's a new Mark Zuckerberg post about, oh, we're sorry for the latest thing, and here's how we're about to change.
My first reaction was, wow, this is long. It was 3,000 words. It was like a manifesto, basically. I think this is them essentially covering a lot of ground, right? First, they're coming out and saying, look, we recognize that, yes, we have not been good stewards of your private data. Second, we want to get ahead of any potential legislation that comes out and mandates that we protect privacy or something along those lines. So we're going to build it into the product now and sell it as us wanting to keep your stuff private. And then the third is also recognizing that, yes, people are much more cognizant of the fact that their data lasts a long time, and so they're hesitant to share a lot of it now. I think, especially people in our age group, younger people who are on there might not recognize that yet, but I'm sure their parents are probably telling them, look, you post those pictures from that party you were at, it's going to come back to get you in like 20 years. So it's out there, it's there. So I think, they're trying to cover a lot of ground, and they're trying to make sure that when you use the product, you don't feel as alienated.
Well, the reality is they're suffering from reputational brand damage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had that Axios Harris poll, I think that came out yesterday, that showed they fell from 50th to 94th. So clearly they're struggling on that front. My first thought is, how are they going to monetize this? If we're talking end-to-end encryption, I mean, yes, they're not monetizing Messenger right now, but this does change up their whole business model.
Maybe ads inside your inbox.
Inside stories.
Ads on WhatsApp.
Well, does it change their business model, though? Because I feel like he's having his cake and eating it, too. He's claiming to offer more privacy, but at the same time, he hasn't said, I'm going to stop selling your personal information for these app developers or for advertising purposes. So that's what consumers really want. We're not getting that.
So this, I don't think, realistically, I don't think it's going to have that big of an impact, because what happens when Facebook gets your data is it's through different signals, they call it. So it's the way you interact with the service. Things that you like on there, friends that you have on there, that'll all still be able to go into Facebook, right? If you, for instance, like a particular motorcycle brand, for instance, they'll recognize that and where you live and your age, they'll be able to pick all of that up and then say to an advertiser, look, you're trying to target motorcycle lovers in Colorado who are male between like 35 and 40. They can hit that still. So it's not really going to impact that as much as you would think. They also will still be able to put ads inside messages. It doesn't mean that they'll be able to see what you're sending, just that they can insert them into messages. So I really don't think it's going to impact their business model at all.
Very quickly, the irony to me in him saying we're going to focus on ephemeral messaging sounds to me like Snapchat.
Yeah, they're just stealing it.
That's what Snapchat does.
They're stealing, yeah.
So maybe in a way it's good. It kind of brings attention back to Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, it also lets them just steal more of Snapchat's business. So.
But it also sounds like it's more integration of all the platforms that they currently own, right? Whether it's Messenger or WhatsApp or Facebook. So we'll continue to watch that story. Dan, appreciate that update there.